My name is William Martinez. I am a lending assistant, customer service representative for Happy State Bank. The most I love is working with people, and I think that we as a bank, we do that. I think that's our culture. I think they go out and find those individuals that love to interact with individuals and love the conversation and love working and helping out and solving those problems that our customers can have. And I think that the culture, the helpfulness, I think that's what sets us apart.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I ask everybody to please rise? And if you'd help me welcome Davelyn Disterhouse, who will give our invocation. She's with Baptist St. Anthony's Healthcare System. Davelyn.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. We come before you, though, our God, who rules the universe. We pray for guidance, for our leadership this day, for our city and our area, also for the future of our country and the youth that are represented here. We ask your blessing upon all of them. And as we look forward to celebrating all of the freedoms that ultimately come from you and from Christ, that the truth will set us free, may we acknowledge that and try to preserve it by our decisions and our actions for those who will come after us. We thank you for the freedom to pray, to worship you as we choose, and to come before you together in Christ's name and others whom we acknowledge as God. Amen.
If you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We're happy to acknowledge all the young people that are here today. I think we have some awards at the end of the meeting, so we're happy that you're here today with us right before the 4th of July. We'll celebrate our independence tomorrow, and we're glad you're here to celebrate with us today at our meeting. So, this is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission, held on the 3rd floor of City Hall this Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. The first item of business on today's agenda is the minutes from last week's meeting. Attached is a copy of those minutes. The minutes are from the meeting from June 26, 2012. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from the meeting last week? If not, entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I would move for approval of those minutes as presented.
Second. All those in favor of the minutes as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes with a 4-0 vote. Ordinance number 7336. This is a first reading of an ordinance changing the zoning of an 18.99 acre tract of unplatted land in section 63 block 9 BS&F survey, Randall County, in the vicinity of Hillside Road and Nancy Ellen Street from agricultural to residential district 1 for the development of single-family detached homes. This is recommended for approval by a 5-0 vote of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Do we need an explanation of this further than what's in the agenda? Would anybody like to see a further explanation?
Mayor, Mr. Shell, I'd be pleased to either provide an explanation or try to answer any questions should the Commissioner of the audience have any.
It's just kind of a unique development.
Mr. Shaw, why don't you go over just briefly what it is?
Be happy to, Mayor. This is the zoning is related to the first residential development of a new subdivision in Amarillo. It's just west of Sonsi, north of Hillside, just north of Hillside Christian Church. The area that is being proposed for rezoning is the first phase of the residential development. It's an odd-shaped tract, but that boundary follows actually some alleys and streets, and there will be homes within this area. Also, this area is in relation to a mixed-use development that's just east here towards Sonsi that will consist of apartments with retail on the bottom floor, kind of a brownstone product where you'll have living living units on top over the retail units, also mixed in with various other commercial type uses. So this is just the first phase of a quite a large, almost a section large, new residential and retail subdivision.
Okay, great. Are there any questions from the audience about this ordinance? Any from the commissioners? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move we approve ordinance number 7336.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of ordinance number 7336 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. The consent agenda, it's recommended the following items be approved and that the city manager be authorized to execute all documents necessary for each transaction. A is the purchase of liquid bleach annual contract. B is the purchase of portable police radios. C is the award of water distribution improvements. D is the approval of renewal of natural gas contract. E is the approval of change order number 3, Potter County well field addition, well pumping equipment installation, and wellhead improvement contract. And that's it. Are there any items that need to be removed for separate consideration by the commission? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions about the consent agenda as presented? If not, all those in favor of the consent agenda as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. That passes with a 4-0 vote. Okay, we have a presentation now. This presentation is the 2012 Every Drop Counts Be Water Wise update. This presentation will provide an overview of the year-to-year water usage in Amarillo and will recognize the winners of a recently completed water conservation poster contest. The winners' posters will be on display in the commission chambers. And I think we have Mr. Emmett Autry who will give this presentation.
I'm sorry, Sarah Mark, but that's being Prigo.
Dean's giving this, excuse me.
Mr. Autry,
I'm dropping in.
let's go ahead, if we could, let's go ahead and go through our water usage.
Okay.
And I'll ask Mr. Frigo and the team to come up.
Sorry for the confusion. Okay, this is what I prepared to do. Good evening.
Good evening.
What we have on the overhead is a short presentation, PowerPoint presentation of some comparative figures on weather and water usage. Each month this year we've been updating water usage as well as kind of tracking the rainfall such as it is. The first of the three overheads here compares the June of 2011 and June of 2012 weather data. And that will be a lead-in to water usage in just a little bit. Rainfall for the month of June last year was 0.49 inches of rain. The rainfall for the month of June in 2012 was 1.72. And if we look at the, I don't have this on the totals, but look at the total rainfall for the first 6 months of the year. Last year it was 1.17, and this year it's 7.08 inches. That's January through June. And another thing that is of interest here is that in June of 2011 we had 13 days in excess of 100 degrees, and one of those days in particular, I believe it was June 26th, the record high temperature was set at 111 degrees. This year, I believe our highest so far has been 106 degrees. Still hot, but we don't have near as many hot days in a row as we did last year. And as far as water usage is concerned, if we take a look in comparison between last year and this year, for the month of June last year, 78.2 billion gallons per day average for the entire month. That's very close to an 80 million gallon per day average. And of course our maximum last year was on June 4th at 88.7 I didn't manage to get that on the overhead, and I apologize for that. Our max day this year so far has been 77.3 million gallons. And looking at cumulative amount of water used in the first 6 months of last year and this year. Last year, for January through June, we had 8.879 billion gallons of water used during those 6 months. During the same 6 months this year, the usage is 7.527 billion gallons. That's for half the year. And as you can see, there's about 1.3 plus billion gallons difference between last year and this year. Any questions so far? The last is the display in a graphic form of the water usage that we've been tracking throughout the year. And the dark line, the black line, is the current year, 2012. The red line is the year, month by month, of 2011, which, as we've said before, and I wouldn't want to bore you with saying it over and over, set all kinds of records. The blue line, or blue-green, depending on how your eyes read it, is representative of 5 years previous to 2011. That's an average. And you can see that the black line for 2012 is tracking fairly closely to the average line, except that when the heat came up in June, we started to get a little bit higher than that average. So there we are at a half year, and I would welcome any questions that you might have.
Is the tan color the summer months? Is that what that is?
The yellowish, right, that represents the hot months of the year. And I believe that is June through September, or is it either May? Actually, we have 5 months.
May through August.
Sir?
May through August.
May through August is what it is. Last year, September was kind of like the rest of the summer months. We had 4 months in a row in excess of 2 billion gallons consumption. Any other questions that I may answer tonight? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Autry. Very good presentation. Okay, then we will move to Mr. Frigo. I believe has some presentations to make.
Good evening. We have from our water conservation team, Stacy Yates and Cynthia Hunt with us today. And Wendy Bach is in charge of our recreation program in the school parks. And they put together the poster contest. Stacy and Cynthia at the library and Wendy at the parks. So they did a heck of a good job. We got some really good posters. We got a lot of talented kids out there. And we'd like to bring them up and recognize them. So if you'd all come up with your posters, bring your family with you. Hold them out so we can all see them.
Can I get all my winners down on this end, please?
Now we're going to use all these posters to make a calendar on our Every Drop Counts. Would you like to come and join us?
We're going to come down and join you, yes.
Okay, we had about 60 submissions, And these were our best, and we got some real good ones here.
Those are great.
Great.
Those are really good.
I heart Amarillo too.
Did y'all design these yourselves? It was all your ideas? Those are great. When did you do this? Did you do it after school? Or during school? Great.
Did you look at a real map of the earth?
Looks like you did. Those are really neat.
That was a lot of work.
Yeah, Ariel's got conservation tips all inside her drop there.
Well, that's very nice too. You're quite an artist.
Stacy, Wendy, would you like to pass out the awards with the commissioners?
For Sid. Okay, there's your certificate, thank you very much. Cadence. No, be nice to water, thank you. Tatum. Andrew. Ariel. There you are. Elia. That's Elena, I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Serena. There you go. And Audrey. Brian.
And the shadings.
And I think that's everyone who's here.
Good job.
Do we have a round of applause?
Later? And then anything else was a request for delivery?
Sure. That's great. We have a commissioner that has a question to ask you. Is that okay?
Think
Okay.
fast.
So in drawing your posters, did it make you think twice about the amount of water you use? I mean, are you thinking differently about water now?
Yeah, we use a whole bunch of things. We need to conserve water.
Right.
Can you even imagine what 89 million gallons of water is? We used that every day last summer. Can you imagine? We used it some days last summer. 89 million gallons in a day.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
There's lots of stuff you guys can do. What are some things you can do to save water? Can you think of one thing? Go ahead.
Shorter showers.
Shorter showers. Yeah, you can get cleaner faster.
Or just not make it on.
Yeah.
That's from the
Something
doctor.
else? How about when you brush your teeth?
Well, here's one right here. Look at this.
Uh-huh.
Stop that
Stop
drip.
the drip too, if your boss is
Every
going to
drop.
pay attention to that.
Do you think we could run out of water in our city if we weren't careful?
Yeah.
You know, it would be hard for us to run out of water because we have a lot of water that we've purchased over the years. But it doesn't mean we have the right to waste a drop of water, does it? Because so many people around the world don't have water and don't have clean water. And then we have this abundance of water, but we have to take care of all our natural resources, don't we? So what you've done is really important. We'll probably put those up and it'll get some people's attention. And probably some people will start to save some water because of what you've done. So that's important. Thank you
Mayor
very much.
Harkle, look at this, there's a drip here, and it says, it tells you what to do. Let's save water, check for leaks on hoses and faucets and sprinklers. Only wash full loads in the dishwasher.
There we go.
Washing machine.
Take short
all
showers
those tips, all
instead
those
of
tips are in the
long
form of a drip.
baths.
That's cool.
Commissioner Green wrote all those tips for us last year.
He's still washing his clothes by
I
hand.
wash my clothes before they have to say. Very, very well done, y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Very good work. You love that. Thank you all. We appreciate it. Good job. We're just trying to make sure you're secure.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Good job. We're gonna make a calendar. Be sure to come by and get a calendar. We'll have a calendar for that.
That concludes the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission. It's however customary at this time to allow citizens of this community with matters pertaining to city policies, programs, or services to speak to the commission. And the floor is now open for such comments. Would anyone like to come forward and make a comment? Please.
My name is Caroline Thornton, 1947 South Mars. And there's just a comment and a couple of points that I wanted to make. I know it's summertime, but I'm thinking ahead of the winter months. And the points that I want to make is there's a lot of people, and we know this all over Amarillo, that are not pitching their tents. We know this. And we know that an ordinance was passed. And I'm not against that. I'm really not. It's just something that passed, and that's that. The thing is that there's these people that are still around, and they're hiding. They're hiding, and they have their reasons to hide. They are still pitching their tents, and it's because of the elements or safety, for whatever reasons they're still doing it. But the reason why I'm here is that I want to see about providing a place. I want to suggest this. Providing a place for them to place their tents, a piece of property, a piece of land, something before winter comes. Because right now, in sleeping outside, it's not so bad. But we all know in the winter months, it's going to be a different story. I'm seeing things and I'm hearing things out in the streets that are a travesty. It really is. But we're not here to save the world. And I know each and every one of you, I know you have good hearts, and I know you want to do everything for the city, but we also know that there's citizens out there that are not going to go to shelters. They're just not going to go. And I'll give you an analogy. Many years ago, I was an assistant teacher for a disability class, actually 3 of them. And I remember in this one particular class, these students, they said, you know, are we different? Or was something wrong with us? And I said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You just learn different than other children. And the other children learn different from you. I learn different. We just learn different. That's all. There's nothing wrong with you. And these people that are out there today, sleeping where they're sleeping, and they, bushes, I know of a mother personally that actually went into a park and she took her children and she did it. And I'm like this, but the bottom line is she did it. She took her children into a park bathroom, and that's where she spent the night with her children and locked the door. Will she go in a tent? I don't know. But I know for a fact that there's places for her to go to, but she didn't. We can't save the world, and you can't. You just can't. But I want us to think ahead of these people. The tents are a good thing for some people. They really are. I wrote down some pros on the tents. They provide shelter from the elements. I work with the homeless, some of you know that, and I live with the homeless sometimes. And I lived in the tents. I lived on the sidewalk. I know what it's like. And I'm not complaining, but I know what it's like. And the pros was the shelters. They got shelter from the elements. Emergency provider access. If they were provided with a sanctuary community, a sanctuary city, and that's what I'm putting together right now, is a sanctuary city for them. And I need help from the city to be involved in that, and I can get you some statistics. But the pros in a sanctuary city is they would have shelter from the elements. They would have, the emergency providers would have access to them. They would have sanitation, which would be porta potties. And with city regulations, not you just do whatever you want. And they'd have their neighbors helping each other. And the safe environment from predators are real. I just want to talk to you about that I want to put together with the help of the city, I'm putting together a steering committee for a sanctuary city for people that live in tents. Not here, not there, not everywhere, but an environment for them, and to work together with the city on them before winter starts. So that's what I came before you.
Carolyn, thank you for coming here, and if you, as in the past, if you'd like to call me, I'd be happy to meet with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other comments from the audience? If not, that concludes the regularly scheduled meeting of the City Commission. Thank you very much.